Bible in 1 year, day 34. Numbers chapter 13 to 16. Numbers chapter 13 to 1 to 33. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, 2. Send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the children of Israel. From each tribe of their fathers you shall send a man, every one a leader among them. 3. So Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran according to the command of the Lord, all of them men who were heads of the children of Israel. 4. Now these were their names: from the tribe of Reuben, Shammua the son of Zakur. 5. From the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat the son of Hori. 6. From the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh. 7. From the tribe of Issachar, Igal the son of Joseph. 8. From the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea the son of Nun. 9. From the tribe of Benjamin, Palti the son of Raphu. 10. From the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel the son of Sodi. 11. From the tribe of Joseph, that is, from the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi the son of Suzi. 12. From the tribe of Dan, Amiel the son of Gamali. 13. From the tribe of Asher, Sethur the son of Michael. 14. From the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi the son of Vophsi. 15. From the tribe of Gad, Gul the son of Maki. 16. These are the names of the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called Hoshea the son of Nun, Joshua. 17. Then Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said to them, Go up this way into the south, and go up to the mountains. 18. And see what the land is like, whether the people who dwell in it are strong or weak, few or many. 19. Whether the land they dwell in is good or bad, whether the cities they inhabit are like camps or strongholds. 20. Whether the land is rich or poor, and whether there are forests there or not. Be of good courage, and bring some of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the season of the first ripe grapes. 21. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Zin as far as Rehob, near the entrance of Hamath. 22. And they went up through the south and came to Hebron, Ahiman, Shishai, and Talmai, the descendants of Anak, were there. Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. 23. Then they came to the valley of Eshcol, and there cut down a branch with one cluster of grapes. They carried it between two of them on a pole. They also brought some of the pomegranates and figs. 24. The place was called the valley of Eshcol, because of the cluster which the men of Israel cut down there. 25. And they returned from spying out the land after 40 days. 26. Now they departed and came back to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel in the wilderness of Paran, at Kadesh. They brought back word to them and to all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. 27. Then they told him, and said, We went to the land where you sent us. It truly flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. 28. Nevertheless the people who dwell in the land are strong, the cities are fortified and very large. Moreover we saw the descendants of Anak there. 29. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, the Hittites, the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and along the banks of the Jordan. 30. Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses, and said, Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are well able to overcome it. 31. But the men who had gone up with him said, We are not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. 32. And they gave the children of Israel a bad report of the land which they had spied out, saying, The land through which we have gone as spies is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people whom we saw in it are men of great stature. 33. There we saw the giants, the descendants of Anak came from the giants, and we were like grasshoppers in our own sight, and so we were in their sight. Next chapter. Numbers chapter 14 to 1 to 45. So all the congregation lifted up their voices and cried, and the people wept that night. 2. And all the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron, and the whole congregation said to them, If only we had died in the land of Egypt, or if only we had died in this wilderness. 3. Why has the Lord brought us to this land to fall by the sword, that our wives and children should become victims? Would it not be better for us to return to Egypt? 4. So they said to one another, Let us select a leader and return to Egypt. 5 Then Moses and Aaron fell on their faces before all the assembly of the congregation of the children of Israel. 6 But Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, who were among those who had spied out the land, tore their clothes. 7 And they spoke to all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, The land we passed through to spy out is an exceedingly good land. 8 If the Lord delights in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which flows with milk and honey. 9 Only do not rebel against the Lord, nor fear the people of the land, for they are our bread, their protection has departed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear them. 10 And all the congregation said to stone them with stones. Now the glory of the Lord appeared in the tabernacle of meeting before all the children of Israel. Moses intercedes for the people. 11 Then the Lord said to Moses, How long will these people reject me? And how long will they not believe me, with all the signs which I have performed among them? 12 I will strike them with the pestilence and disinherit them, and I will make of you a nation greater and mightier than they. 13 And Moses said to the Lord, Then the Egyptians will hear it, for by your might you brought these people up from among them. 14 And they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land. They have heard that you, Lord, are among these people, that you, Lord, are seen face to face and your cloud stands above them, and you go before them in a pillar of cloud by day and in a pillar of fire by night. 15 Now if you kill these people as one man, then the nations which have heard of your fame will speak, saying, 16 Because the Lord was not able to bring this people to the land which he swore to give them, therefore he killed them in the wilderness. 17 And now, I pray, let the power of my Lord be great, just as you have spoken, saying, 18 The Lord is long-suffering and abundant in mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, but he by no means clears the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generation. 19 Pardon the iniquity of this people, I pray, according to the greatness of your mercy, just as you have forgiven this people, from Egypt even until now. 20 Then the Lord said, I have pardoned, according to your word. 21 But truly, as I live, all the earth shall be filled with the glory of the Lord. 22 Because all these men who have seen my glory and the signs which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and have put me to the test now these 10 times, and have not heeded my voice. 23 They certainly shall not see the land of which I swore to their fathers, nor shall any of those who rejected me see it. 24 But my servant Caleb, because he has a different spirit in him and has followed me fully, I will bring into the land where he went, and his descendants shall inherit it. 25 Now the Amalekites and the Canaanites dwell in the valley. Tomorrow turn and move out into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Death sentence on the rebels. 26 And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, 27 How long shall I bear with this evil congregation who complain against me? I have heard the complaints which the children of Israel make against me. 28 Say to them, As I live, says the Lord, just as you have spoken in my hearing, so I will do to you. 29 The carcasses of you who have complained against me shall fall in this wilderness, all of you who were numbered, according to your entire number, from 20 years old and above. 30 Except for Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun, you shall by no means enter the land which I swore I would make you dwell in. 31 But your little ones, whom you said would be victims, I will bring in, and they shall know the land which you have despised. 32 But as for you, your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness. 33 And your sons shall be shepherds in the wilderness 40 years, and bear the brunt of your infidelity, until your carcasses are consumed in the wilderness. 34 According to the number of the days in which you spied out the land, 40 days, for each day you shall bear your guilt 1 year, namely 40 years, and you shall know my rejection. 35 I the Lord have spoken this. I will surely do so to all this evil congregation who are gathered together against me. In this wilderness they shall be consumed, and there they shall die. 36 Now the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land, who returned and made all the congregation complain against him by bringing a bad report of the land. 37 Those very men who brought the evil report about the land, died by the plague before the Lord. 38 But Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh remained alive, of the men who went to spy out the land. A futile invasion attempt. 39 Then Moses told these words to all the children of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. 40 And they rose early in the morning and went up to the top of the mountain, saying, Here we are, and we will go up to the place which the Lord has promised, for we have sinned. 41 And Moses said, Now why do you transgress the command of the Lord? For this will not succeed. 42 Do not go up, lest you be defeated by your enemies, for the Lord is not among you. 43 For the Amalekites and the Canaanites are there before you, and you shall fall by the sword, because you have turned away from the Lord will not be with you. 44 But they presumed to go up to the mountaintop. Nevertheless, neither the ark of the covenant of the Lord nor Moses departed from the camp. 45 Then the Amalekites and the Canaanites who dwelt in that mountain came down and attacked them, and drove them back as far as Hormah. Next chapter. Numbers chapter 15 to 1 to 41. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, 2. Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you have come into the land you are to inhabit, which I am giving to you, 3. And you make an offering by fire to the Lord, a burnt offering or a sacrifice, to fulfill a vow or as a freewill offering or in your appointed feasts, to make a sweet aroma to the Lord, from the herd or the flock. 4. Then he who presents his offering to the Lord shall bring a grain offering of 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of oil. 5. And 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering you shall prepare with the burnt offering or the sacrifice, for each lamb. 6. Or for a ram you shall prepare as a grain offering 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/3 of a hin of oil. 7. And as a drink offering you shall offer 1/3 of a hin of wine as a sweet aroma to the Lord. 8. And when you prepare a young bull as a burnt offering, or as a sacrifice to fulfill a vow, or as a peace offering to the Lord, 9. Then shall be offered with the young bull a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with half a hin of oil. 10. And you shall bring as the drink offering half a hin of wine as an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord. 11. Thus it shall be done for each young bull, for each ram, or for each lamb or young goat. 12. According to the number that you prepare, so you shall do with everyone according to their number. 13. All who are native born shall do these things in this manner, in presenting an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord. 14. And if a stranger dwells with you, or whoever is among you throughout your generations, and would present an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord, just as you do, so shall he do. 15. One ordinance shall be for you of the assembly and for the stranger who dwells with you, an ordinance forever throughout your generations. As you are, so shall the stranger be before the Lord. 16. One law and one custom shall be for you and for the stranger who dwells with you. 17. Again the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, 18. Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land to which I bring you. 19. Then it will be, when you eat of the bread of the land, that you shall offer up a heave offering to the Lord. 20. You shall offer up a cake of the first of your ground meal as a heave offering, as a heave offering of the threshing floor, so shall you offer it up. 21. Of the first of your ground meal you shall give to the Lord a heave offering throughout your generations. Laws concerning unintentional sin. 22. If you sin unintentionally, and do not observe all these commandments which the Lord has spoken to Moses. 23. All that the Lord has commanded you by the hand of Moses, from the day the Lord gave commandment and onward throughout your generations. 24. Then it will be, if it is unintentionally committed, without the knowledge of the congregation, that the whole congregation shall offer one young bull as a burnt offering, as a sweet aroma to the Lord, with its grain offering and its drink offering, according to the ordinance, and one kid of the goats as a sin offering. 25. So the priest shall make atonement for the whole congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, for it was unintentional. They shall bring their offering, an offering made by fire to the Lord, and their sin offering before the Lord, for their unintended sin. 26. It shall be forgiven the whole congregation of the children of Israel and the stranger who dwells among them, because all the people did it unintentionally. 27 And if a person sins unintentionally, then he shall bring a female goat in its first year as a sin offering. 28 So the priest shall make atonement for the person who sins unintentionally, when he sins unintentionally before the Lord, to make atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. 29 You shall have one law for him who sins unintentionally, for him who is native born among the children of Israel and for the stranger who dwells among them. Law concerning presumptuous sin. 30 But the person who does anything presumptuously, whether he is native born or a stranger, that one brings reproach on the Lord, and he shall be cut off from among his people. 31 Because he has despised the word of the Lord, and has broken his commandment, that person shall be completely cut off, his guilt shall be upon him. Penalty for violating the Sabbath. 32 Now while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. 33 And those who found him gathering sticks brought him to Moses and Aaron, and to all the congregation. 34 They put him under guard, because it had not been explained what should be done to him. 35 Then the Lord said to Moses, The man must surely be put to death, all the congregation shall stone him with stones outside the camp. 36 So, as the Lord commanded Moses, all the congregation brought him outside the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died. Tassels on garments. 37 Again the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, 38 Speak to the children of Israel, tell them to make tassels on the corners of their garments throughout their generations, and to put a blue thread in the tassels of the corners. 39 And you shall have the tassel, that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them, and that you may not follow the harlotry to which your own heart and your own eyes are inclined. 40 And that you may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy for your God. 41 I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. I am the Lord your God. Next chapter. Numbers chapter 16 to 1 to 50. Now Korah the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, with Dathan and Abiram the sons of Eliab, and on the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. 2 And they rose up before Moses with some of the children of Israel, 250 leaders of the congregation, representatives of the congregation, men of renown. 3 They gathered together against Moses and Aaron, and said to them, You take too much upon yourselves, for all the congregation is holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Why then do you exalt yourselves above the assembly of the Lord? 4 So when Moses heard it, he fell on his face. 5 And he spoke to Korah and all his company, saying, Tomorrow morning the Lord will show who is his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near to him. That one whom he chooses he will cause to come near to him. 6 Do this, take censers, Korah and all your company. 7 Put fire in them and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow, and it shall be that the man whom the Lord chooses is the Holy One. You take too much upon yourselves, you sons of Levi. 8 Then Moses said to Korah, Hear now, you sons of Levi. 9 Is it a small thing to you that the God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the work of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to serve them? 10 And that he has brought you near to himself, you and all your brethren, the sons of Levi, with you? And are you seeking the priesthood also? 11 Therefore you and all your company are gathered together against the Lord. And what is Aaron that you complain against him? 12 And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram the sons of Eliab, but they said, We will not come up. 13 Is it a small thing that you have brought us up out of a land flowing with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, that you should keep acting like a prince over us? 14 Moreover you have not brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey, nor given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will you put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. 15 Then Moses was very angry, and said to the Lord, Do not respect their offering. I have not taken one donkey from them, nor have I hurt one of them. 16 And Moses said to Korah, Tomorrow, you and all your company be present before the Lord, you and they, as well as Aaron. 17 Let each take his censer and put incense in it, and each of you bring his censer before the Lord, 250 censers, both you and Aaron, each with his censer. 18 So every man took his censer, put fire in it, laid incense on it, and stood at the door of the tabernacle of meeting with Moses and Aaron. 19 And Korah gathered all the congregation against them at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Then the glory of the Lord appeared to all the congregation. 20 And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, 21 Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. 22 Then they fell on their faces, and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and you be angry with all the congregation? 23 So the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, 24 Speak to the congregation, saying, Get away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. 25 Then Moses rose and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. 26 And he spoke to the congregation, saying, Depart now from the tents of these wicked men. Touch nothing of theirs, lest you be consumed in all their sins. 27 So they got away from around the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, and Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the door of their tents, with their wives, their sons, and their little children. 28 And Moses said, By this you shall know that the Lord has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own will. 29 If these men die naturally like all men, or if they are visited by the common fate of all men, then the Lord has not sent me. 30 But if the Lord creates a new thing, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them up with all that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the pit, then you will understand that these men have rejected the Lord. 31 Now it came to pass, as he finished speaking all these words, that the ground split apart under them. 32 And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, with their households and all the men with Korah, with all their goods. 33 So they and all those with them went down alive into the pit, the earth closed over them, and they perished from among the assembly. 34 Then all Israel who were around them fled at their cry, for they said, Lest the earth swallow us up also. 35 And a fire came out from the Lord and consumed the 250 men who were offering incense. 36 Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, 37 Tell Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, to pick up the censers out of the blaze, for they are holy, and scatter the fire some distance away. 38 The censers of these men who sinned against their own souls, let them be made into hammered plates as a covering for the altar. Because they presented them before the Lord, therefore they are holy, and they shall be a sign to the children of Israel. 39 So Eleazar the priest took the bronze censers, which those who were burned up had presented, and they were hammered out as a covering on the altar, 40 To be a memorial to the children of Israel that no outsider, who is not a descendant of Aaron, should come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he might not become like Korah and his companions, just as the Lord had said to him through Moses. Complaints of the people. 41 On the next day all the congregation of the children of Israel complained against Moses and Aaron, saying, You have killed the people of the Lord. 42 Now it happened, when the congregation had gathered against Moses and Aaron, that they turned toward the tabernacle of meeting, and suddenly the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. 43 Then Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of meeting. 44 And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, 45 Get away from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell on their faces. 46 So Moses said to Aaron, Take a censer and put fire in it from the altar, put incense on it, and take it quickly to the congregation and make atonement for them, for wrath has gone out from the Lord. The plague has begun. 47 Then Aaron took it as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the assembly, and already the plague had begun among the people. So he put in the incense and made atonement for the people. 48 And he stood between the dead and the living, so the plague was stopped. 49 Now those who died in the plague were 14,700, besides those who died in the Korah incident. 50 So Aaron returned to Moses at the door of the tabernacle of meeting, for the plague had stopped. End of day 34 reading.